Well, hey, I'm so glad that you're here to join me on this project I got. What I got here is my 1998 Chevy Suburban. I bought back in 2011 for the family, and it's been with me ever since. Now, in the first stage, it was to transport my family. Second stage, I kind of used it for work. Third stage, it was neglected and left to the side. Fourth stage, we're gonna bring it back to life. And what happened is that a piece of plastic broke, lost all the coolant. I repaired the piece of plastic, but I did this in the summertime, so I just filled it with water. And I continued on driving my other tow trucks and service vehicles and stuff like that. So this just kind of sat beside the house well into wintertime to where it froze. And when it did, it cracked one of the heads. Well, after I found the crack in one of the heads because the cylinder was full of water, drained the water out, filled it with coolant, and I drove it for a couple years just by adding coolant because it was a very, 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 very small crack. Till time grew on and the crack grew bigger and bigger to the point to where I had to take it off and repair the heads. So that's the stage I got to, is removing all of the parts off of the engine to put new cylinder heads on. And that's where I had to stop at, because I had to move it from where I was taking it apart to a new location that I could no longer work on it. And then I got it moved again, and then again, and then again, to the point to where the inside of the cylinders on the very open motor rusted. So now I'm at the stage where I'm gonna pull the motor and transmission and everything out. We're gonna clean up the motor and see if it can be salvaged to do a dirty rebuild to get it back on the road. Okay, now that I got it back down on the ground, come here, let me show you what we're working with. As you can see, the cylinders now have rust in there, some mud daubers, and a lot of material, including cobwebs. All because it was neglected and wasn't completed in a timely fashion, and it allowed moisture to get into, or it allowed moisture to contact the raw metal, which flash rusted and only proceeded from there. And over the course of time, it only got worse and worse and worse. So now we're gonna pull the motor and we're gonna clean it up and see if it can be saved. And I have a spare Yukon that I purchased that has a 350 motor in there that matches this in the same year range to rebuild in case this one cannot be saved. So that's the process. I'm gonna get it back in the air and I'm gonna take the transmission pan down, drain it, and we're gonna check and see what the pan looks like. Okay, now that we got the Suburban back up in the air, I got the transmission pan, I got the drain pan to catch the fluid that comes out once I drop the transmission pan, so we can inspect the inside of the pan to see if there's any damages or anything that needs to be done, or anything that can be seen that will result in me rebuilding the transmission. So let me go ahead and get the pan bolts out, get it drained, and get it inspected. Now, after doing a little bit of examination real quick, I can see that I do have some metal and some debris that's in there, but this is relatively clean from the last time I did a service on it. That's quite surprising. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the filter out of this, and then I'm gonna let it drain the rest of the night. So that way when I come back in the morning and pull the transmission out, I don't have to worry about fluid running all over the place. It would have already drained out as much as possible. Up until that point, I put the pan back on it, pull it out along with the motor, and then we can get busy pulling the motor apart and inspecting it to see if it's salvageable or not. Learn how to talk, we'll be doing okay. I am going to finish pulling the engine out of the Suburban here momentarily. I got about 4 bolts, 2 in the motor mount, 2 in the bell housing, I do believe. Then I'm going to go get the hoist over there, bring it over here, hook it up, get the engine out, and maybe get it up on the engine stand. We'll see, because I got to go in the other building and bring it over here. So let me go ahead and get the hoist and get this engine out of here. Okay, now that we got the hoist over by the Suburban, we got to deconstruct and reconstruct the hoist in order to get it underneath the vehicle and get it jacked up. So let me go ahead and do that. Time for the bug remover. That chunky thing making a home. Bye-bye. Okay, now let's find the right size wrench and socket. Okay. Awesome. Looks like I already took the back bolts out of the bell housing. I believe I did. So there's only 2 bolts that has to be removed. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the hoist in here, but we'll give it a try and see. It looks like everything's in the way. Okay, we got the boat out. Now let's get it hooked back up and finally get this engine out. Nice. Okay. Now, all right, excellent, excellent. Nice. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. All right, the motor is officially out. Whew. Now, I'm gonna pop the flywheel off this. I'm gonna go get the engine stand and mount it on there. And then I'm gonna call it a day and come back and do with the motor next time. So that way I have a whole complete video on it. So talk to you later.